Greetings everyone, this is Spartan275, coach of the Victorville Victini, and welcome to the draft analysis for the Lonely Draft League Majors Division of Season 9. This will most likely be the last time we'll be playing on the Ultra Sun and Moon game on the 3DS, maybe. And the winner of this season gets a free copy of either Pokemon Sword or Shield of their choice. My usual goal is to just make it to playoffs and hopefully not lose in quarterfinals, but who knows, maybe I might get the title, maybe not. But without further ado, let's get into the actual changes of the in terms of drafting. Unlike the previous seasons where we had tier lists, where we had to draft through the set of tiers of tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and as well as megas. This season, it's now going to be under a point system draft, which I'm actually very unfamiliar with, but I was able to understand after some explanations. So what it happens is that we're allowed to draft between 10 to 12 mons under a budget of 120 points. Once then, we can pick as many Z-Cats as we want, as long as the overall value of the Pokemon is equal or less than 30 points. So, without further ado, let's get into the main draft. So, here's the thing. I initially wanted to draft Victini first and go with the draft plan that I had with Victini. However, there was a mon that was available, and I was like, maybe this mon could be very beneficial if I can pick up this mon and Victini. So initially, I went ahead and picked up Mew. Now, if you've known me back in Season 7 of LDL and Evo Season 2, I've used this mon in both leagues, and they were both during this the same process. Pretty much, I actually love this mon. I never really got to use Mew a lot outside of draft leagues, but when I got to use it, I fell in love with it. With the base 100 stats on every of its stats, along with having access to to almost all move tutor moves and all TM moves, this mon makes this a very guessing game of a mon. I can run a physical sweeping set, I can run a special set, I can run bulky, I can run supportive. Whatever you think about it, whatever set you think what Mew is, just expect it, you know. I've learned a lot about it just by playing with those 2 seasons, and I went from questioning about Mew to pretty much really enjoying it. That actually got me to playoffs in both of those leagues. So having Genesis back into the squad, into my hands, was really good. However, during that the transactions of round 1, Victini was taken by the Blazing Squid. So screw you, Blazing Squid. I'm sorry, but I had to, because of that, I had to revamp. I had to go from scratch. So I asked the Pokemon Draft League's server, the Pokegame server, asked within their Draft League hub, asked for some advice, and they recommended me some of the following upcoming mons. The next one is Manaphy. Oh, once again, another water mon with base 100 stats all around, a pure water type mon. Good with that being a water type with those stats, it makes it really bulky or a very offensive mon. With the access of Tail Glow, Manaphy has the potential of sweeping, and with the stab moves like Surf, Scald, and Hydro Pump, with the coverage, and also have the coverage moves that would save it from getting taken out from all of its problematic matchups, such as Ice Beam and Energy Ball. It does have U-Turn as well, so Manaphy can be a good potential Scarf Pokemon and a potential Pivot user. And I gave this Mon the Z Captain rights, so prepare for some Hydro Vortex in the future, or even other coverage moves such as like Bloom Doom or Sub-Zero Slammer, you name it. I could probably use it on Manaphy, and I don't mind it. I don't mind this pick. The next Pokemon, like the other two previous Mons, are also base 100 stats all around, and that is none other than Shaman. Shaman is a pretty good grass type. It has really good bulk because of this the stats. Being normal, just pure grass type is questionable, but then you see Tangrowth and you'd be questioning it again. But this Mon isn't half bad. It has really good cleric support with Natural Cure, Aromatherapy, and even Healing Wish. It also could be a good offensive Mon. It has one of its best grass type moves, Seed Flare, base 120 base power special attack with a 40% chance of dropping the opponent's special defense, but at the cost of having the accuracy being at 85. So it's a hit or miss, not gonna lie. It does have good coverage moves such as Earth Power, Air Slash, and Psychic. Trying to think of other things. It can also be an interesting physical attacker. It has the capability of being a physical attacker, but other than that, I probably might use this one mainly for cleric reasons. But this next pick, in my opinion, is a questionable choice of a Mega. And that Mega is Mega Aerodactyl. Initially, I was thinking about going for Mega Diancie, but after hearing so much praise about this Mon, I want to see why it's so great, because to be honest, I don't see it. I mean, it does have great physical attack stat base 135, combined with a blistering speed of base 150, speed tying with Mega Alakazam, making this Mon a threat in theory. And by that, the reason why I say that is because I'm not very confident in it. It has Tough Claws, boosting physical contacting moves by 30%, but there are not that many moves that benefit this, in my opinion, as most of the moves Mega Aero learns are either weak, not accurate, or doesn't benefit from Tough Claws. Those moves such as like Earthquake or the Elemental Fangs, just for example. And then there's the rock moves, where all the rock moves outside of a Smackdown are not 100% accurate. And then the only flying moves that benefit from Tough Claws are either weak, very accurate but weak, or very powerful but requires 2 turns to activate and isn't 100% accurate. So I like the speed and the option of defog and the EV investments not always being into speed, but I don't know about having to click moves that have a chance to miss, especially if they count. I don't know. It's questionable choice to have, but this upcoming one I'm actually happy to grab. in past previous seasons, I draft many dark type Pokemon, whether it's Alolan Muck back in season 6 and 7, Incineroar in season 7, and Tyranitar season 8. Each of those three dark types really did amazing work overall. And this one I wanted to use, and that is Crocodile. A great typing of Dark and Ground makes this both a fierce offensive and defensive mon, having a good check against Psychic and Electric type mons. It has a base 92 speed, which is pretty good in my opinion. It has that nice little speed creep to outspeed some base 90 mons and whatnot, and it can be able to outspeed a lot of fast electric types just by being Scarf. It has many different item sets they can run, such other than Scarf, such as Life Orb, or Pinch Berries, or Super Effective Berries. It has two good abilities. I mean, there's the third one, which is Anger Point, but that's very situational. But the other two, Moxie and Intimidate, are really good abilities for Crocodile, making this either a good mon to bring in to weaken any physical attackers that's in front of it, or has a chance of potential sweeping with the boosting of Moxie. Having great access with a lot of stab moves such as Pursuit, Knockoff, and even Earthquake makes this mon a threatening revenge killer. So let's hope I can get this mon near the top of the kill leaders, just like Incineroar and Tyranitar. So before we get to this next pick, I want to say that with no draft plan, I had to look up what works, and the folks over at the Pokemon server recommend me to go for Tentacruel. It gave me great hazard control, good def bulk, and a grounded poison type. However, the mon that I wanted to get, Tentacruel, it was already taken by the time that it was going to be my turn. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that mon, but I went ahead and grabbed Doublade. It's not like a good replacement for it, but I think this mon is pretty good nonetheless. It may run Eviolite, so it might be like a one item user, but still that Eviolite really benefits a lot because it could tank a lot of hits, both in the physical and special defense, and even in the special defense. And it doesn't have that great special defense. I think it's like what, base 35? No, base 45? I'm trying to think at the top of my head, but other than that, I like it. It has great immunities, being immune to fighting types, normal types, and even poison types. It can probably take a lot of ground type moves because of the Eviolite. Maybe not on the special defense side, but most definitely the physical side. It has good stab moves such as Gyro Ball, Shadow Claw, and Shadow Sneak. It also has some decent coverage moves like what was it? Sacred Sword, and even Fury Cutter, with no guard. Just saying. But other than that, I like this pick. Even though it's one-dimensional, but I kind of like it, especially with the team that I have. So since I didn't get the Mega version, I went ahead and still picked up Diancie. So just to match up with all the other mythical mons, unlike the other mythical mons, this one isn't like base 100 stats all around. It does have base 100 stats in attack and special attacks, so make it relatively good special and physical attacker with moves like Diamond Storm and Earth Power, Power Gem, Moon Blast, even Explosion. But other than that, it is a very good defensive mon in terms of it having a great defense stats of base 150, but it has to sacrifice with its HP and speed with base 50. It may not be the end of the world, but it's in terms of the HP stat, but it's still relatively good. I also gave this mon the Z Captain rights as well. That way I could probably give this mon sweeping capabilities or even supportive capabilities such as Z Heal Bell. Other than that, I kind of like this mon because it gives me another fire resistance. Because I already have Mega Aerodactyl, Manaphy already, so I have like pretty good fire type resistances to pair up with the Blade and Shaman. And the next mon I also paired up with it is Magmortar, another fire resistance. I always wanted to try this mon out, to be honest, and hopefully I could do some cool stuff with it. Great offensive pressure in both physical and special attack, with a lot of coverage moves such as Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Psychic, and even Mach Punch. And even more than that, it even has good sweeping capabilities, and especially in the physical side, in form of Belly Drum. So who knows? Maybe Belly Drum in the future. But it doesn't have the great physical defense, so it may die very easily to like physical ground attacks or rock attacks. So I have to be careful with that. But other than that, its special defense is actually pretty good to become a relatively well used assault vest user. I also gave this mon the Z Captain capabilities as well. So I got the 3 Z Captains of Manaphy, DNC, and Magmortar. That equals 30 points. 16 plus 7 plus 7, that's 30. So I can probably bring in some good stab with Infernal Overdrive, or even Z Belly Drum. Who knows? But I kind of like this mon. After that, I had to guess what else to get. Well, actually, not this one. Not this next pick that I'm going for, and that's Frostless. This wasn't a pick that I didn't want to do, but I kind of like it because it gives me dual Ghost, which is actually pretty beneficial because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of either trap sets, and luckily Doublade and Frostless are immune to that. Other than that, it's a good dual typing of Ghost and Ice type, having stab in both Shadow Ball and Ice Beam, has good decent priority in Ice Shard and Sucker Punch. It has access to spikes, so I can use this as a hazard user as well. Having access to Taunt, Destiny Bond, Will-O-Wisp, Hex, just to name a few. But the one interesting thing is that it has access to Hail and Aurora Veil. So who knows? I might bring Aurora Veil Frostless in the future. Hopefully. I don't know. Other than that, I kind of like it. It has a great speed, base speed of 110, something that I feel like I'll be needing out, so I don't have to rely on Mega Aerodactyl a lot. But the next few are ones I didn't really choose, but everyone else recommended me to get. One of them is Como, and honestly speaking, I kind of like this pick because this is a great offensive and defensive mon with base offensive and defensive stats of 100 all over the board except for HP and speed. This mon can either be a tank or an offensive threat, having access to Sword Stance, Workup, Rock Polish, Dragon Dance, This mon can just set up for days. It has a great setup sets. It has great stab moves, it's close combat, outrage and dragon claw. It even has this unique move, clanging scales, which is a base 110 special attacking move. That's a sound based move, so it can be able to hit through substitute mons other than fairy types. Also has good coverage moves such as Poison Jab, Iron Head, Flash Cannon, just to name a few, to be honest. It also has Belly Drum as well, so I have another Belly Drum user. So other than that, I have a really good solid fighting type mon that could be very beneficial with the team. This next mon, however, I was actually very questioning it, but after some persuasion, I went ahead and picked it up, and that's Ticino. The base speed is pretty good. This mon feels like it's one-dimensional as well in terms of moves, because its best moves are actually the linking moves: Tail Slap, Rock Blast, Bullet Seed. It also has good pivot and U-turn. It has knockoff as well. Other than that, it's more used as a sash destroyer. With skill link and or technician, this mon could be a really good offensive user with like a bandit set, life orb set, or heck, even the scarf set. But other than that, I was very questioning about this mon, but I'll see how things go with this mon. And last but not least, this is a last pick. I wasn't really expecting to pick this mon up because I wanted another water type that learned T-Spikes, but initially I didn't see many that really caught my eye, and let alone have enough points to get it. So I just went ahead and just picked up Forgator. Don't expect me to use this mon. I probably might have to look up what other mons have T-Spikes that are very low, that are also water type, because I actually feel like having two water types really benefit the team nonetheless. But as for Gator itself, it's okay for being a mid evolution. Good speed too, like base 97. It's pretty fast, but it doesn't hit that hard, and it doesn't have all the moves that like Greninja has. I mean, it already has the main ones: Ice Beam, U-turn, Hidden Power, Hydro Pump, and of course Toxic Spikes. But it doesn't have normal spikes. It doesn't have Water Shuriken, and it's pretty frail, to be honest. But like I said, this is just a quick filler mon to pick up, and I'll probably just trade it. Look for a good trade replacement for it in the nearby future. So other than that, there you have it. That is the team that I drafted this season. Honestly speaking, I actually have no faith in this team, to be honest. I have a lot of mons that have good setup, but I don't have a lot of raw firepower that doesn't rely on the setup, other than Magmortar and maybe Mega Aerodactyl, but who knows. But other than that, I have a really good bulky team, but I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot, but like I said, after that Victini snipe, it went downhill from there. But other than that, that's all there is with the team. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Leave a like if you thought this team was good. Leave in the comments what you think about the team and what other mons I could probably go for. Other than that, we're until then, we're going starting off for week 1. We're going up against Zemian and the New Haven Charizards. So until next time, I'll catch you guys later.